am Andrei. I am the storyteller of Bucharest by Night, the voice of Sheriff Andrei Aman and Deadly Rose in the many vids on this channel. And together with my girlfriend Demi. Hello, honey. I was gonna introduce you first, but that
Introduce me, go ahead.
We're done. She's my girlfriend. She plays vampire, and together we plan to discuss certain topics that maybe have been discussed before, but maybe put them in a different perspective and chew them out. And hopefully they will provide something interesting or helpful, because YouTube is full of lore videos and things like that, so we're just gonna do it a different way and maybe approach different topics or from different angles. Yes, you want to add something?
No.
Okay.
I'm excited.
She's so excited she doesn't have anything to add. That makes excellent entertainment material. So we wanted to record last week, but due to some personal issues and also, more importantly, the fact that Vampire Masquerade Bloodlines 2 footage has been released, and together with the Q&A, yay! We thought we would wait a little and find the time and the mood to watch it together and comment on it. First, we thought we would do a video reaction with how we would react live to the footage and what's being said in the Q&A.
It wasn't interesting though. You don't miss anything. We were very quiet during.
We were very quiet. Yes, mostly. Also, I don't like this kind of videos where you see the guy, the streamer or whatever, the YouTuber pausing and then talking, and then because I want to watch the footage, I want to watch the whole thing. Like, you're interrupting to give us your opinion. Like, I don't know, write it down or something. Probably I will insert some footage from the actual video in our video. And we're gonna be talking over it. Also makes it a bit more easy when editing. So we watched the gameplay footage for Bloodlines 2. Now, mind you, I have played the first Bloodlines. I played Redemption as well, the first video game that was released about Vampire the Masquerade. But I've played the first Bloodlines many times. At least 20 times.
Wow.
Yes, including I've used the mods from the community as well. So yeah, I have knowledge.
Knowledge is power.
If you listen to the Tremere, knowledge is the prelude to power.
Oh.
I don't know what they consider to be power. I guess magic. Anyway. So what I was saying was that I've played the first game, also a gamer. Demi is not a gamer. Demi has not played the first game. So,
I refuse.
Yeah, we'll have. Why?
No, I refuse to play any game.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Be a hippie.
It's not about that. It's that my eyes hurt very easily.
Yes, your eyes are very sensitive. You have a veteran gamer and a non-gamer, so we'll get two different perspectives. What do you think of the gameplay footage, of the way it plays? It's obviously meant for the console, like at least the one that they showed.
Yes, I think they also mentioned the triggers of the controller, which obviously the computer doesn't necessarily have. It was mainly combat.
A bit of dialogue.
A bit of dialogue and more combat or action, not necessarily combat. Which to me, in games, because I do watch other people play games, for me the most interesting part is the dialogue and the story.
Sure, as well. Yeah.
Sure, the action is can be entertaining, but as someone who isn't participating in it in any way, I'm just like, oh, okay, they are beating each other. We'll just lose focus and.
Yeah, okay, but think about it from a different perspective, right? This is an RPG, right? Typically, RPGs have levels or at least some sort of type of progression. You evolve, you grow, you level up. If you don't have the medium to use to show off basically how strong you are now, like after you leveled, or how to prove that you are a hero or anti-hero or whatever you choose to be, it would be pretty dry.
Oh no, but I'm not saying that there shouldn't be action. And what I wanted to say is
you're more interested in the story.
I am more interested in the story, but I also understand why they showed what they did, because this is meant for the people who will play the game, and you want to see how it is as a game. What do you do? How do you fight? How do you interact with the environment? It's not just, oh yeah, you have 2 options for dialogue, for example.
Also, we have to keep in mind that the recorded footage is about a Bruja
yes.
version of Fire being the main character, and they wanted to showcase the strength and the speed with which you would play. So, yeah, obviously.
I like the fact that you can choose what clan you are, as I understood that you don't have to play a Bruja, you can choose to be anything.
Alex Kidmore, the project creative director, also mentioned the Banu Hakim. I've also seen, I think, Tremere was announced as being a playable clan. I hope there are as many as possible, because I played the first version, you don't know, but the first Bloodlines had the original one had 4 different distinct endings. Some of them pretty terrible for you as a character because you made the wrong decisions. The clan quest mode, and there was like the Sabbat mode, basically allowed you to join the Sabbat, and you would add, I think, 2 more options. One was bad, one was quote unquote good, because you just basically survive, but you are Sabbat, or you are horrible. Either way, the thing is that the original one had these 4, basically you have 4 endings. But I played it and replayed it with several clans, even though I knew that I only had these 4 options. The dialogue more or less kind of played the same, even though you had many lines to choose from and so on. So the only difference was the gameplay style, but the social aspect of the game kind of stayed the same. Of course, if you played Ventru, for example, the prince would give you special treatment because he was also Ventru, and you would get a haven in the city, in LA, when you reach that area, which is this like kind of fancy apartment, or at least better quality than what you start with.
Nepotism.
Yes, nepotism. The Tremere, if you play Tremere, the regent would give you a room in the chantry. So you could actually, when you go to the chantry, if you're not Tremere, you can only navigate the downstairs area and the rooms there. But if you play Tremere, you could go upstairs and have your own room. So these were like kind of minor details that change other than the way you would play with your character, because you have different powers, of course. I hope that this changes, at least in the social aspect of the game, or maybe even endings will be different according to the clan.
They did mention that according to what you choose, the NPCs will react differently.
That is true.
And that the vampire whose voice Fire...
Fabian.
That his image of Fire really depends on these choices, because that's what he sees, quote unquote.
Yes, it sounds like they're saying that you're gonna build your character. The way the final outcome, the final character, the final Fire is gonna be what you build along the way. So, yeah.
With the backstory too.
With the backstory,
which was cool. I like the idea that the NPCs basically tell you about your past, and you can either agree or disagree.
Correct them or not.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a really cool. Like I said, it's not only about the personality; it's about the character itself. It's a bit odd though, because it doesn't look like the character is going to be customizable. I think you're just going to play the female.
You mean the appearance of the character will be the same for...
Yeah, I get this vibe. I'm not sure.
I also get this impression. I don't know if it's correct. They didn't indicate any...
I don't know.
changes.
This is just the feel of, like, I don't know if she's gonna, like, the character is gonna be strictly female. Like, you have this character, this is how she looks like, this is how she talks and whatnot. But because it's voice acted, I incline to think so. And it's kind of like The Witcher, where you can only play Geralt that looks like that, sounds like that. And
also the fact that they have the past, that this is an elder, and people know of her.
Yeah.
So when they do tell you, oh, you did this thing, maybe if it were a customizable character, appearance-wise, maybe it wouldn't work.
It could. They could just hear, like, cause they call her the nomad, and
true, it
also
is neutral.
Fire is, it can be male or female, so it might be. I hope it is. It's not that I have anything against playing a female character, but I am among the few, I guess, who play their own sex. I consider myself a male. I like to play a male in video games.
Like a self-insert.
Yeah, exactly. Asmongold had the same idea, kinda, although he is more militant on that front, because he was saying that I want this version of myself that looks as much as I do in the game. Which is okay, acceptable. Everyone has their own preferences. I prefer to go on a more like fantasy, more not an accurate depiction of myself in the video game.
What you would like
but
for yourself.
Yeah, my perfect version, or my ideal version of myself. So I go for elves or stuff like that usually, where like very sexy. Yeah. I don't have anything against playing a female. Like, I love the Tomb Raider series, for example. I liked very much the character, the way she was designed, her story and everything. It was really cool, and it would have been probably, at least with the latest game, after she was already established as a character, it would have sucked if it was like, oh, you can play Lars, instead of Lara or something like that. So
also, you gotta love Cassandra from Assassin's Creed.
Oh yeah. I play. That was the exception. That was the exception, because the male version was terrible. I'm sorry, and everyone I spoke with couldn't stand the guy. Like, what was it, Alexandros? Alexios.
Which isn't even an ancient Greek name.
So Demi is Greek, blood-wise you're half Greek, half Belgian, but born in Greece and lived there for most of your life.
I've been more Romanian lately. I've been here for half my life.
Yeah. We need to start speaking Romanian more. Embrace your new home.
Yes. Transylvania.
We're not in Transylvania, we're in Bucharest, goddamn. People don't speak like that.
But why?
I don't know, it would have been really fun if I actually met someone who spoke with that accent. They have a more relaxed, they speak slower. Cadence is very lazy. Anyway, back to the game. Yeah, back to the game. I really liked and I thought it was genius. I don't know if they did it on purpose. On the third playthrough, basically through the same area, because you go through the same warehouse kind of setting.
3 times.
Yeah, 3 times. So the third time, which is very chaotic, mad. It's insane.
It's very Malkavian.
Yes. And we know there is the Malkavian influence from this gardener, which sounds if you translate it in Romanian, it sounds really funny. Like nobody would take that name as that nickname as something threatening or scary. Maybe it's not the point.
But even in English, it's not. A gardener doesn't imply someone threatening, like the butcher.
No, but to me,
but has a mystery vibe.
Yeah. It sounds a bit more ominous when you say it in English. I imagine someone who grows carnivorous plants or something like that. In Romanian, the words it's funny. Like I don't know, it sounds funny to me because it's basically the same. It's about someone who tends to a garden. Garden in my head in English looks like something very nice. Like very exotic even, like with a lot of plants, very beautiful and stuff, and very what's the word I'm looking for?
Well tended.
Peaceful, yes, and zen or something like that. In Romanian, gardener or garden, when you say like garden in Romanian, usually because it comes from the word basically originated in the countryside, you mean like a vegetable garden.
Oh, right.
Or something like that. So to me, when you say gardener, I'm imagining someone who's like planting carrots and so it's not about someone who grows these like really weird plants or something. Yeah. Anyway, I just like last time I start with an idea and I go on a tangent and I get lost. I wonder. What I meant was that in the third part of the video with the really weird warehouse, the way that it's depicted like a fever dream.
Yes.
If you notice, there was that purple pinkish light that came through the slits on the covered windows, and I felt it looked so much like the covers of the original, like the cover of the core book and the holder, the carton holder of the set, basically. That pink, purple, the color scheme, and I was wondering like if they did this on purpose to
incorporate the
like send the same vibe, like we are here, we are in this book, we are in this universe, that now it has this aesthetic, because the old ones were a bit more cartoonish, I guess. The covers were beautiful, the art was amazing and very different from each clan, but it kind of looked like comic books, like some kind of comic. This one is more photorealistic, and I've never. This is impressive in a way, because pink and purple to me are not like horror colors, you know? Like you wouldn't find this scheme in a horror themed anything.
But they make it work.
They made it work, especially with that mist thing, the kind of like a foggy effect. Light shining through the fog, it gave almost a Lovecraftian vibe to it, and I really liked it.
Yes, it was. It really gave it a fever dream kind of feel.
Yeah,
like it kind of made me feel dizzy.
Yeah.
But not too much. I could still understand what was going on, but imagine being there, surrounded by this fog and light, and it was kind of like a maze. It wasn't very clear where you had to go.
Yeah. In the later part of the video where she's looking for the record players, I got confused. I got lost. Like I was like, the first time she walked in, it seemed to be pretty straightforward. The whole setting didn't seem like it gave you many options to explore, like many other rooms. In the end, it seemed like you said, like a maze sort of thing. Things that they haven't explained though is speaking of visuals and stuff. I remember that she's using Auspex.
Right.
Normally, Bruja do not have Auspex.
She is an elder though.
Yeah, it's fine. I like the way that they incorporated certain elements organically. The only issue that I have with this is the progression, because in the first game you played Toreador, for example, you had Auspex, you could invest XP in Auspex and grow your Auspex and you would unlock different powers. Here you already have it, and it seems to be the detective mode that there was also in the Arkham series with Batman going like shh.
Though we don't know how early this is in the story.
Alex and George said that it's pretty early, so I don't know. Also, I still think George looks like a young me, but yeah. Anyway, back to this thing. I like the way it looks. It's pretty standard, kind of like detective mode looks like that in most games. The thing that bothered me about this, and I didn't mention it when we were watching it because I wanted to save it for now.
He keeps secrets.
Yeah. It was the fact that second time she walks in, she sees these ghouls, right?
Yes.
And she uses auspex to pinpoint them on the map, right there, or see them from afar. Yes. You could see the silhouette of the enemy and the heartbeat. And as she sneaks by, we were watching it on the laptop, not so great sound, but I've listened to it on the, seen a bit of it on the computer with my headphones, and the thing that you don't really notice, but I picked up on it, was the fact that the footstep sound was the same, even though she was sneaking. Normally in video games, when you sneak, the sound at least is muffled, you make less sound. That was one thing. But back to the auspex thing, she used it, she saw the first enemy, she was sneaking behind him, and you could see the heartbeat. Now, we later on find out that this is an illusion, so I have to ask, why does the illusion have a heartbeat?
And she fed on them, right?
She tried, it disappeared. I guess mechanically, as they explain the fact that you can feed and it kind of helps with the combat and stuff like that.
Yes, I didn't get that very well because in the tabletop we don't have to feed to do something or to do it better.
No, I can explain that too. So it's kind of like Alex said, it's social feeding, when the thing that you guys do mostly when you feed, it's out of combat.
Yes.
You rarely feed in combat, it's mostly bite attacks, I guess. So it's a different thing. But here they incorporated it in combat, especially for Bruja. It works like punch this guy, grab that guy, bite down on him, then continue fighting. It's kind of a cool thing, and I like the mechanic. I think it's really awesome. I also am happy to say that I'm very glad that the cutscene, basically when you bite someone, is not as long as it's been in Bloodlines and other games such as Swan Song, which had the same bloody cutscene that lasted about 10-15 seconds, and I couldn't skip it. I just had to sit there and watch. I think I was able to skip it on the second playthrough, but the first one didn't let me do it. I don't know. Anyway, doesn't matter. It gives a more dynamic view to it. But back to the thing that I was saying is that I understand that the Malkavian influence in this gardener or whatever, I'm not sure. It's a bit confusing who was doing the illusions and stuff, and was this in her mind? What was going on?
The way they spoke about it, it's as if the Nosferatu is doing this.
They also said that they're obviously a Malkavian influence. Maybe he was doing it through the phone. The phone was on.
Right, because in the end, the phone was...
that means someone really powerful must have done it.
Yes, give me a very powerful Malkavian.
Also, the gardener, wasn't this like Cain? He was the guy who grew the plants.
I don't know.
Anyway, why would you... I mean, I can understand complex illusions, but that's like beyond complex to simulate heartbeats in the... That's a bit odd, if you ask me.
Make it believable.
Maybe you could convince someone that they're seeing these things and their mind simulates the heartbeats because they think they are actual... these are ghouls. I'm telling you, you see a room full of ghouls. your mind goes like, okay, they're good, so they have
heartbeats, they have blood.
Okay, I don't want to be nitpicky, but I just thought it was weird. Like, why would illusions have heartbeats? Like,
I don't understand how she could see the heartbeat. Was this like heightened senses?
Yes, that's how they explained it, that it was heightened senses, but it wasn't. This is how you see it as a player. She would probably hear it, but how would you? How would they express that to you? Like, yeah.
But tabletop, we cannot see the heartbeat. We use heightened senses.
Maybe there is a nowadays there are so many books. Maybe there is a power version of X, a level of Auspex that allows you to see the heart or the blood in the system. I think that's not far-fetched. I think
at first when
it's doable.
She saw the ghoul heartbeat. At first, I thought she was using Spry the Soul.
To see the aura.
And okay, it's a ghoul, so you see the heartbeat. Maybe.
You have to understand that in the video games, these powers are similar but different. If you would have played Bloodlines, like the first Bloodline, you had very different powers than what there was in the V20 book back then. That's many people said that the Tremere was overpowered. Like, it had like this blood projectiles. You could make people explode. So it was a very powerful stuff. And it was also mainly focused on blood magic, like strictly blood magic, where in the book you had the different paths, elemental paths. I guess you had the water powers and fire powers. It's like an avatar kind of thing.
How can vampires have fire powers?
I do not know. I think that's why it was removed, but apparently now there are some sources that I've just received from our friend, from one of the Tremere players, with different thaumaturgical powers, including fire and water and electricity. You could call down lightning and stuff like that. It's just really cool, but it's kind of at the same time too much. Why are they so fucking overpowered, man? Like, so many different spells or disciplines, I guess, or rituals. Where I have my personal favorite clan, which is the Toreador, of course, who kind of don't have their own thing.
Yes, that's true.
They don't have their own thing. Like, when you say dominate, you think of Ventru, at least in the canon. You say dominate, even though the Tremere have it.
You say dominate, I think of Dominic, kind of.
No. Okay, La Sombra, fine.
No, La Sombra have the celebration.
Yeah. So yes, there is Oblivion now. Okay, so you say Oblivion. Also, I don't think of the Hecate. I think of the La Sombra. You say Dominate. I think of the Ventru, because they use it the most.
Yes, they are the most prominent
and talented with this discipline. You say Protein. I think Gangrel. Even though the Tmichi have it now, but you get vicissitude. So as an amalgam, yeah. So anyway, when you say Toreador, I cannot associate it with anything. Nosferatu I associate with Obfuscate instantly because they're mostly hidden. You don't know where they use it a lot. Malkavians have it too, but we say Dementation when you say that. Yeah, so this, even the Bruja, like you say Potence, there are many other clans that have Potence, including the Giovanni, I think, the La Sombra.
Giovanni part of the Hecata.
Yes, but you can play as a Giovanni within the Hecata, like the Giovanni with Bloodline. So yeah, there are other clans that have Potence as well, but I think of the Bruja. Also, Celerity is kind of the same. It's a combo with the Bruja. I think Bruja. So please, people, stop saying Bruja. Like, it's so annoying to me. Also, it's Vitae, not Vitae or other things that they're driving me nuts. Like Latin 101. Just look it up. It's that easy. It's that easy. You learn how to pronounce. Like, I don't speak Latin. I studied it in school. I don't know a goddamn thing, but I know how to read the damn letters. So AE is written, is read E. Okay, back to the thing.
So Toreador don't have discipline that is.
Yeah, what describes presence? I guess. Presence.
Presence.
Yeah. I guess, but it doesn't feel...
The social aspect?
I guess. I went on a crazy tangent again. Just personal frustrations.
And then had a cigarette.
And we paused for a moment. Actually, I wanted to make a connection with the fact that we see another element in the gameplay, the telekinesis.
Yes.
What do you think about it?
It's interesting. I don't know if we have something like that in the tabletop game. I haven't been playing for long enough.
Auspex has telepathy at higher levels.
Telepathy, not telekinesis.
Yeah, so I guess it's a level of Auspex. I don't know.
No, again, we're talking about an elder. It could be a...
Sure, but this is a bit... Again, maybe I'm being nitpicky, but this is not a power that I know of. Or do I? I'm not sure. I don't think so. Like, telekinesis, I believe it would be an Auspex power. I don't mind it. I think it makes for good gameplay.
It is interesting. It looks visually very cool.
Yeah, and also they used it in two different ways. They used it to grab the bottle. This was the first time they used it, and throw it against the wall just to distract an enemy. You have this option, or at least I think they wanted to do this in the original Bloodlines, because in the tutorial part, in the beginning, you have this option to. It's actually required, so you could pass on to throw a can and distract a Sabbat vampire and sneak past them. It was never used again. We know the game was unfinished, and yeah, I think they originally wanted to do a lot with it, but they released it as it was, and then just sadly was never
finished or
I don't know. I know the term in Romanian. I don't know it in English. When you add, the final touches were never added. That's what I mean. Also, apparently, some gameplay, that intended gameplay, was never implemented anyway. With okay, throw that in. But here it seems they're trying to do it, and actually works, because this is in the game. I also hope this is not the only time that you can use that.
I don't think it will be the
I hope they don't forget about it.
I think that's the problem, that people might not think to do it. Oh, let's go fight.
Yeah, but they said that the gameplay will be different, dependent on the clan.
Okay.
Because you wouldn't go through like a tank like they did here. They wouldn't just engage in combat openly like they did with Bruja if they play the Habano hockey. Because they're like assassins and stealthy and ninjas and stuff like that.
Oh, stealth.
I don't feel. I mean, you could, but it would be a very weird thing to do. So, I don't know, like, why would you want to engage in open combat with a character that's not designed for open combat, and you know it's not designed for it? Anyway, it doesn't matter. The second time they use the telekinesis is in combat, pulling enemy towards you and like punching them in the air and stuff like that, which I like. It kind of feels like Star Wars, like using force pull, and like, yeah, that is cool. But the thing that I don't like in this kind of fight game style, I don't know how to put it, is the first person thing. Especially when you're using unarmed combat or melee combat. I want to see the character spin, turn, fight. I want to see the whole, to have that movie perspective, like from above or somewhere behind.
But you might be able to change that when you play.
We didn't see that. Also, the sneaking is better in first person. And most of the combat I've done, at least in melee combat and unarmed combat I've done in the first game, it was done in, you would actually go automatically, the camera would jump out of first person and let you control your character. And the combat was bad in the first one, it was really bad. Including the firearms used at the first levels when you couldn't aim because of the weight of the gun and the recoil, which was kind of cool. I like that. But if you didn't put any points in it, some weapons would be unusable. If it was an automatic weapon, you would hit with 2 bullets and then your muzzle would be somewhere pointing at the ceiling.
Makes sense.
Because it's like, yeah, but the point is that the combat was not great. I like the feeding in combat that you could do, which you can also do here, and it doesn't take a whole cutscene, and you don't have to wait until the whole blood bar goes all the way down. But I personally would like to see the combat done like that. Although it's really cool when you see the fists like flying really fast, like in first person, that I liked. And I like the, how do they call it, the action bars, I guess, that fill up, and then you can use the special moves.
Yes.
With the celerity, I think it was celerity, and it just like runs all the way through the enemies and pins them against the wall, or just poof, they fly away when you punch them.
This was really cool.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe I will enjoy it. Normally I'm not crazy about this kind of thing. It did work in the sound. I have to say that. I like the sound a lot. Yeah. I like the voice acting. I like the music.
Oh yes, voices were nice.
And I like the fact that we finally see a different looking Nosferatu, because they normally are depicted with a pointy ears, tall, hunched over, long arms. So man, this guy is short, stout, fat. Let's admit he is fat.
He's like a bad potato.
Ugly potato.
If you didn't get it already, we're both Toreadors to some extent.
There's a little Toreador in all of us. Yeah, so I think that's about... Oh, there was another thing that Apollo Sticks mentioned in his reaction video. The fact that I think you noticed as well, there were a couple of moments where Fire finds a newspaper and a redacted financial report.
Yes.
In the first game, you could find newspapers and read the title, kind of give you a bit of a hint, but it seemed like an interactive object that you can find and pick up and drop. There were other things as well, and we'll see how they behave in the game. And he said he didn't like the fact that it kind of opens up a new screen, because that one did not open up a new screen. Like you can pick it up, but you can also move it. It kind of like zooms in on it. Okay. But you could also you can move your characters.
And you see it as a prop.
And you see the thing behind it or around it. Here it just like opens up a new window with a menu and everything.
Like the information screen.
Yeah. I don't mind that. I think that's cool because you have it in a database, I guess, and you can access it later. Like if you want to read it, later on and see what it was about. I think that's cool. They did this in Swan Song. It had a lot of information, and if you play it for the first time and want to play it well, I think it is kind of mandatory to read it, because you don't know exactly on which page, on which paragraph, because some of the things there, of the topics that you had in Swan Song, either that it was about a character or a faction or something, you don't know where you would notice some vital piece of information about a character or about something that happened that might help you understand what's going on. Here it doesn't seem to be that condensed, the mass information condensed, but I prefer to have the information saved somewhere and I can access it whenever I want.
But I think it would also be nice to have the character interact with the item, picking it up, and then it opens the screen. Because correct me if I'm wrong, I don't remember her reaching for the paper. They just went over it, clicked,
and it opened.
But the character, to read it, to get this information in her head, she would have to pick it up and read it. So maybe have this kind of not cutscene.
It is a cutscene, kind of to an extent of it.
She picks it up.
An animation.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I don't think that's necessary, to be honest, because you just add some more time to the game that's not necessarily wanted, and maybe you fall into the same annoying thing with the little animation that you cannot skip. It just has to happen every time. I think there were some things that made it very annoying in some games where you had to watch them. I think in Far Cry, for example, when you go into a vehicle, you have to have the whole camera move in a certain way, as if you would like open the door to a car and sit inside the car and then turn on the engine. And after the 557 time that you do it, it's kind of annoying.
Okay, I know how you get on vehicles, man.
Yeah, jumping instantly into the car would not work, so I understand. It's nice to have this kind of detail. But for the picking up, I honestly don't care if you pick it up or not. So I don't think this is an important thing either way. Like either you have it like it was in the first game, as in you just pick up the newspaper, look at it, and you can drop it or take it with you. Let's say you could be able to take it with you. Although I had a lot of junk in my inventory in the first game that I really didn't need, and you couldn't even sell it. Like you had like a picture, for example, that you just didn't need for any purpose. So I wouldn't want to carry stuff with me, and I couldn't sell it to the vendors in the game.
Throw it to the floor.
Yeah, I had to drop stuff, and at some point, like I remember I was next to Fat Larry. I'm not calling him fat, that's what his character was named.
Okay.
Like, he knew he was fat, he was okay with it. So I was there, I bought some stuff, and my inventory was kind of full. I had a lot of stuff, and I was like, dude, I don't need to carry around all this junk. And I started dropping it. This was like a giant pile of random crap, like a photo, a purse that could not be sold. I don't know, many things that I really didn't want. Yeah. So anyway, about this thing, I don't care. I just don't care. Gameplay seemed fine. The movement was cool. Oh yeah, what do you think of the gliding thing? Was that like you think it was? Because they didn't discuss this. Like she can do a kind of a double jump if you saw. Like,
right.
She does this like really. Is it like soaring leap? I guess if she's Bruja in the gameplay. Okay, but the floating kind of like Batman gliding was a bit odd to me. Is it like weight of the feather activated, or is it something else? They've never addressed this, so I'm very curious to see how does that work.
The way I understood it is that you have 4 abilities. Mm-hmm. The way they showed it, it was like 4. Yeah. And I don't know, was this one of them?
No, because they said they only used 2.
Only used 2.
I think it was celerity and potency.
So is this kind of something that any vampire can do?
No.
If it's not one of the abilities?
I don't know, I guess we'll see. I don't think that's something all vampires can do. Probably is connected to the fact that she is an elder or almost an elder. That's how Alex said, how he described her. Okay. Being almost an elder. So it might be that. What else do we think about the gameplay? Am I missing something?
The second scene, which was the second time she went in the building with the mannequins as opponents, it was really interesting to me because she was fighting against, how do you call it? Fighting against opponents who have no blood. Though they are illusions.
Yeah.
So no opponents should have blood.
Yeah, true.
But we saw her feeding the first round.
I guess we go back to my theory that this is the illusions are also, and it's how it should be anyway. Because if you had an illusion, like a hallucination, you, human, right? The thing that you would see would be projected by your mind, right? Imagined by your mind and projected onto your mind's eye, and you see this thing, and your brain, the rational part of it, would give it attributes that you know it should have.
The according attributes. So
exactly.
If you hit the corner, it hurts as if you hit the corner.
So I think it's the same with this. Like for the first time, you meant the third time of the match, because the second time was with the ghouls.
Right,
the first time was with no
the first time was the interaction with the environment.
Yes.
As it was.
Yes. So the second time when she sees the ghouls, quote unquote, which are hallucinations, her mind would tell her that they have blood and heartbeats and stuff like that. So her powers would function normally, as if she would fight.
Also, they did mention that during that round, the illusion was stronger.
Yeah, correct. Now, for the third time with the mannequins, her mind would tell her that they are bloodless. So that's why the combos don't activate, the special moves don't activate. So that makes sense to me. Maybe we're going to in too much detail about this, but I don't know. I liked it as gameplay, and the thing that also it was a combination of the gameplay, of the story, of the fact that Willem the Nosferatu gave some information away, but not too much. Like, you know, he's kind of being blackmailed in a way.
Poor guy exploded.
Yeah, I don't know how fire got out of that though.
Out of what?
Of the fire, because she was like 2 feet away. Like,
oh right. No, I got confused because her name is Fire, and I thought you meant the flames. And
I think that's meant to be ironic. Like, these vampires are afraid of fire, or something like that.
So when you asked that, I thought you meant the bomb. How fire got out of the bomb? How...
No, no,
it's a bomb.
It exploded. It went everywhere. Fire goes wherever it wants.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm curious to see what happens next. Like, this was kind of like ignited my curiosity.
I'm really curious about the story, because they mentioned that she went into torpor.
Yeah, in Cairo too.
In Cairo for 100 years, and she wakes up in Seattle.
Yeah, she wakes up in Seattle. I wanted to do it though, to discuss this in the way they present it in the video. So we started with the gameplay, but I also wanted to discuss these aspects of the lore and story and everything. And the thing that I really wanted to mention was the fact that and I'll be honest, I lost interest for this game a few good months ago, if not more, because it kept being delayed, and I was like, okay, I'm just not. It's not that I don't love VTM, it's my favorite game of all time, but I just couldn't take it anymore. Like, I don't want to get my hopes up and then be like disappointed again, and what do you know, it's another delay, and it's gonna be delayed even further. And now we changed game development studios, and I stopped caring on purpose about this particular game, about Bloodlines, because it was postponed so many times, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna ignore it on purpose so I don't get disappointed. But watching this, and it's a combination of the gameplay, but mostly the other things, the details, like the dialogue was really interesting. The fact that you had the choices, and they mentioned it determines how your final character would be like, was really cool. The Cairo thing, the fact that they said that Fire is a vampire who went into torpor 100 years ago. She wakes up with these strange marks on her body, with Fabian's voice in her head, which is unusual. I don't know how that is going to play out, but it sounds really cool. And I'm not a purist. I'm not going to say, no, this is not in the game. This cannot happen. There is no power that allows you to do this like all the time and have someone's voice in your head and blah, blah, blah. Even though it can be telepathy, non-stop telepathy. Yes, it can be explained.
Bluetooth connection.
This is what I like, because this showcases how TTRPG VTM Chronicle can play out. Because many people are sticklers to rules. They're going to say, oh, we can't do that. But at least in our Chronicle, in Bucharest by Night, you have so many things that are not canon, like are not in the books, or if they are, they work a different way. But I like to insert weird stuff in it. So this speaks to me, like, okay, we have these really weird things that have happened. So this reignited this is my point, that it reignited my curiosity and my interest in Bloodlines 2. So I really want to see this done. Like, you can delay it again. It's fine. just bring out a good product. Like, oh my god. Also make it for PC. I don't play on consoles.
We have a PS4.
We don't have a console. I play on PC. No, come on. This is the kind of game, like, it's first person. I want to be able to use the mouse to open up. Okay. Also, please, like, I saw there were a combination of buttons to do stuff. Don't do it like the first Assassin's Creed games that you had to play 5 different buttons to climb a wall. If you do it for PC, just please give me like a couple of buttons, the most. I'm old. I don't want to learn.
Okay. It's okay.
Okay. Okay.
Relax.
I'm excited about the game. I am genuinely excited. It looks cool. Are you gonna watch me play it?
Yes.
Yeah. Any speculation?
speculation.
Yeah, about Fire or her story. Or...
I want to know what the markings are. Who did this?
Yeah.
Why did they do this? Why her? Are there other vampires who have markings like hers? Maybe Fabian has markings like hers.
Possibly, yeah.
Also, what the fuck is Fabian doing? He's just listening to what Fire does.
He's just like sitting on his couch.
He seemed very like, what is this place? Does he see what she sees? Or does
Possibly.
he just hear what's happening?
I think he has access. Yeah, that's a good question. I think he may have access to other senses because he comments on the environment.
Oh, right. Yes.
When she's speaking with Willem at the end, he says you're losing him, so obviously he sees him, I guess. It's odd.
I like the fact that it is what you said, that it isn't sticking to the rules necessarily. Like, what are these markings? I don't know. We will find out. For the exact same reason that you can also do this in your tabletop version of the game. You can make up markings and rituals and I don't know.
Anything you want. Like, I think if you stick to the darkness thing, like
as long as it makes sense and it's not overpowered or.
I think this VTM encourages homebrewing more than any other game. It's very flexible system-wise. There are so many things that you can imagine that are like horror themed or related.
We were reading about what Blood Sigils is about. Yeah. And one of the features it has is how to make your own rituals, was it? Or alchemy things?
Yes, that also can be done, yes.
So even the books, the original source, official source, is telling you, hey, if you want to make something and maybe you need help or you want to make it like uniform, look like everything else, more or less.
Fit in,
yes. Here's how you can do it.
Yeah, yes.
Or you can just make it up on your own. I don't think anyone will stop you.
Yeah, well, no one will stop you unless you have the rules lawyer at the table who must have the thingy that is there on page X in book Y.
According to the monster manual, this monster has X HP.
Yeah.
I've had players do this to me, man.
Yeah. Also, you had players like me who seduced a lock.
You rolled a natural 20 and this was what?
It was a game run by your character.
It was a game run by a Malkavian.
Yeah. So, for context, her character, who is a Malkavian, ran a D&D game. So we played a D&D game, but from the perspective of our vampire characters.
Yes.
And it was really, really crazy. And amazing. That was Fifle.
Yes, Fifle was a big hit.
Yes.
We might kill your mistress. Amazing!
That was good. I really like that voice. Also, the bunny voice is really good. And the tree voice, that was amazing. Yeah. Anyway, we should have more of this. So I think that about covers it for today. We said that we were gonna do the Kane lore thingy next time.
Daddy.
So this week, I keep thinking when you said Daddy, and I imagine Kane, because Kane was in Bloodlines in the first one. You kind of suggested, hinted at. It's not something that is confirmed or anything, but it kind of is. Like the community of fans knows that the taxi driver who takes you everywhere is actually Kane.
Why is he a taxi driver?
I don't know. We don't know. Anyway, imagine Kane walking somehow. He one of these nights is like walking through Bucharest, and he like around the corner alley walks down the street, and a voice in the head goes like, just like say sorry and then hello, and you bump into him, and you're like, sorry, hi, and then go, Daddy.
I call so many characters Dad.
Yes, our version of Dad, Daddy, Father, and so on and so on. Dark is the dark father.
Puppy.
Papi. Papa. You gotta be posh.
Pata.
Yes, Vader. Okay, so we will try to do that because I've read in anticipation to that episode. I've read most of it, not all of it, the Book of Nod and
the Bible
also, yeah, which is just as confusing as the Bible. I think we're gonna do a combo. I think we're gonna discuss Cain and the Book of Nod because I have a bone to pick with people who wrote it. So yeah,
it is. Many bones.
I understand it's not meant to give accurate information because it's supposed to be an alt text, but it pisses me off at some points. Okay, it's just annoying.
Calm down.
No. Okay, I'm calm, so we can end it here. Oh yes. I have to say this. Thank you if you've listened up to this point. We are sorry about the probably poor quality of the sound. We're using a phone. I hope we will get the proper equipment at some point and furniture and tech to do this properly, to do it like on a higher quality level. But thank you if you made it this far. Like, subscribe, the whole deal. Don't share it. No, I'm kidding. You can share it.
It is a secret you cannot share.
And also this Sunday I'm turning 41.
Aww.
Happy birthday to me.
He's so old.
So I'm turning 41 and I wanted to say that it's really odd that at 40 years old, when I actually started doing content for the VTM, I finally decided now is the time to start doing VTM content.
You have the knowledge.
I have the knowledge. The thing is that 10 years ago, 15 years ago, I had the means, I had the funds to do something like this, and I was too busy doing it, and now I'm actually doing it and I'm very happy. So please don't judge me on my age. I know there are a lot younger and prettier and funnier, I guess, content makers. So, I'm doing my best and I'm having fun with this.
Yeah, but you have me.
And I have you now, and we're gonna put your face on all the content when we will also do video content.
Now we put the drawings.
Now we put the drawings because I'm lazy. Okay.
Also, they're amazing.
They are amazing. All right. Yes. Thank you for reminding me. What I mean, what? Thank the lady. She's your friend. She's amazing.
Yes, the art that we use is made by Neon Jess on Instagram. She is truly amazing. Undescribable, really, how talented this person is. Every time we commission art from her, we started with Yvonne and Yvonne's Embrace. And ever since then, we kept going back for more.
Yeah, it's like a drug. She's so good.
We have a wall.
Yeah, we have a wall now. Yes. She drew Yvonne with her sire, Andrea Man the Sheriff, even the Deadly Rose. We have
the Deadly Rose. We have Ellie, my Malkavian. We have one of the best NPCs in our chronicle, Sam.
Yes, Sam is amazing.
The Gangrel Primogen.
Soon to be Gangrel Primogen. So thank you, Jess. You are a great artist. I hope you listen to this. And if you need, we do love you. If you guys need art commission, we definitely recommend Jess.
There's no one better.
Neon Jess on Instagram. I will also link it in the video description. Also, I said something, and I want to end with this. So, this is a small joke. A couple of nights ago, my lovely Demi here posted something, a story or something, and we were in the kitchen where we are right now. I was having a cigarette, and she goes like, "Oh, my friend liked my story, or my reel or something." And I go, "Oh, really? Cool. What friend?" And she says casually,
"Jason Carl."
Yeah, so it's casual name dropping,
we love him too.
You didn't say Jason Carl, you said Jason.
Yeah, but I had to.
I know, I was gonna explain it, but She said Jason. That was Jason.
We don't even have to say the last name anymore.
So Jason, if you're listening to this as well, you should know that my girlfriend considers you a friend. just a friend. It's fine. All right, guys. So thank you for listening, and hopefully we will record on Saturday as we originally planned, and the next video should be up Monday afternoon or Tuesday the latest. Those are my 3 days, so that's when I'm doing the editing on this massive recording. So we're super hyped about Bloodlines 2. We hope the Chinese Room, which is the developer, will do an amazing job. So far it looks really good.
Can't wait to watch it.
Yes, can't wait to play it. So cheers.
Bye-bye.
Bye.